Welcome back to Millennial Thoughts Podcast with your favorite Black and educated women, Alicia
and Kat, and we are on our millennial money journey.
Two millennial women navigating adulthood, learning everything that college didn't teach us.
Let's get to the biz.
Budgeting, investing, savings, and student loans.
But first, make sure you join our Facebook group, Millennial Thoughts, so you can keep up with the new episodes, join the conversation, and get resources to help you on your personal finance journey.
If you enjoy this episode, please leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you may listen. And also don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Millennial Thoughts Pod. 2 L's, 2 N's. Now to the thought of the day. As you know, this month is National Black Businesses Month, and we are shouting out my girl Amber, aka the Adulting Queen on Instagram. She just launched her own services where she helps you get your life together, whether that's wanting to know the best brunch spots, goal setting, whatever that helps you out when it comes to this adulting life. We all got it. We all trying to get there, you know. So if you're interested in her services, make sure you go and check out her pictures on our Instagram and also follow her and let her know that we sent y'all, because, you know, we as millennials, we're trying to get our coin. We're trying to help people, you know, make the world a better place. So stick around for the thought of the day. Today we have DeMarcus, a fellow University of Louisville grad who uses his spare time to learn about investing in the stock market, and he is here to give you all a heads up on how to start investing with the money that you do have. Welcome to the podcast.
Absolutely. I'm glad I could join in today, and thank you for the introduction there. I'm glad that I can be on your platform. It's definitely dope what you do, and I definitely hope that your success continues.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. It's dope anytime that I can get on here, and for me, my previous roles, I worked in sales. So I was at Sprint for about 3.5 years, and then I transitioned into a sales development representative now. So current company that I work for is called Jopwell, and so we're the leading career advancement platform for Black, Latinx, and Native American students and professionals. So pretty much I'm talking to clients on a day-to-day basis, trying to help their corporations have access to a wider pool of diversity. So really helping our people to get into these corporations we may have not had access to. And then kind of like in my free time, something that I definitely, as you stated, wanted to get into investing. So with some of the money that I've made in the past from doing like my side cooking business, to like some other things, I've always wanted to figure out a way that I can have my money to grow, because when it sits in the bank account, it's not growing at all unless you have like a growth account. And even with the growth account, it may grow about 3%, a little bit more than that annually. But in the stock market, it can grow, to the average is about 10% or even more on an annual basis. So as you continue to put your money in there and get involved with these different stocks, you do have a greater chance of your money growing as opposed to it just sitting there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely agree with that. So what kind of applications do you use in order to buy stocks? There's Robinhood, there's Webull. Which one do you use?
Yeah, so I can definitely give some advice on I guess the different way to position the way that you'll use them as well. So for instance, for myself, I've used Robinhood in the past. I still use it to kind of like look and see how the graphs go each and every day. I've transferred all my funds over to Fidelity now. Also, one that I've used in the past is Cash App, because now with Cash App, you can actually take some of your money and put it into a stock fund through their corporation. Now, as far as like somebody that's just starting off, and for myself, I would say that I'm a beginner as well / mid-level. But starting off, I would say that Robinhood's a good choice, just because the way that a user can interact with their platform is very easy. And so you're able to see the different charts and graphs of how the stocks are going up each and every day, each and every second, as opposed to some other platforms to where you're not really able to see the interaction that the company has.
Mm.
A good thing with Robinhood as well, you're able to see the news that the company has within their corporation. So if it's anything as far as something that happened in diversity, and for instance, when Starbucks had their incident of not supporting Black Lives Matter, that was something that showed up immediately within their news report, and it can show a fluctuation of people taking their money out due to this, or people maybe adding more money into their stock. So you're able to see how the market adjusts based off of the news that's presented, and it's easier to see it on Robinhood because it's right there in front of you.
Okay. Yeah, recently during this quarantine, they were like, "Oh, get a free stock, do Robinhood." So I got it. It's definitely still hard to kind of navigate. But so how long have you been investing, or like when did you start doing it, or start even like learning about it?
Yeah, so it's funny as heck. So when I first originally had opened up my Robinhood account, it was around 2016. And so
Okay,
this time,
2016.
so this is the first time that I had ever like even opened the account. I had seen like the free stock thing, so I'm like, hey, this could be something I guess you can just kind of like gamble with. You know, when you go out and people go out and gamble, say, hey, I'm trying to get this quick buck. So I was like, hey, I might put a couple dollars here or whatever to see if it gets a return. And then it was around the summer of last year, I had actually bought my first stock, and I was at this time. I'm like, I don't really know if this is a good idea, but let me just put like quite a bit of money towards a stock because it seems kind of promising. So, and that stock at the time happened to be Tesla.
Oh my goodness!
So,
Okay,
yeah,
Tesla.
Yeah. How much shares did you buy?
So this time I only bought one. So I'd only bought one share because I'm like, you know what? This is quite a bit of money. I have like a little bit of money I have from my job. So let me just kind of put this here. I'm a type of person, I can take gambles and some leaps.
Yeah.
But this is the one that I didn't want to take like in that crazy way because
Yeah.
all I heard was like investments and I didn't really have any type of like background information, right? So then it comes around towards the end of the year and this past November. So I'm like, you know what? I'm sitting here at home, I'm trying to figure out like my next moves, and this is something I have been putting off for a while to try to learn. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me actually just put my foot front and then just try to like at least understand the basic level information. So as far as getting started from there, then I went ahead and put I got three more shares of Tesla. So this was around like the same time when it's really, really low. And so not really having any information on Tesla at all, I went into the process of thinking, hey, I do see that they have like a lot of technology. And when you think about them, they're more than just an automotive company. They're actually a tech company because the way that their cars are structured, it's all tech. And so that's why they're able to sell so much. And so even now, I looked at something the other day, and I think for each car they sell, it's worth almost $1 million, even though that the price is around that 80,000 to 150K range. So kind of moving forward from that, I'm like, okay, I definitely want to get into it. And so starting off from there, there's this app that I use, and it's free on iPhone and for Android, and it's called My Learn Stock Investments. So from here, this is where it tells you about the basics, understanding about index funds, really understanding a whole lot of ground level stuff. And then once I got that base, I started to like research every single day. So I'm in there like seeing about the companies. I'm in there just seeing how things are going up and down, the different funds they get into. And so as we see now, Tesla at the time, and I don't mind sharing this information, when I bought it, let's see, that last summer I bought that one share for around 159. It's at 1,400.
Oh my God.
It hit its record high.
1,400. Hold on.
I saw that today and I was just like, whoa, like I can't believe. And I'm just blown away that you just took it upon yourself to be like, okay, I'm gonna just buy Tesla on a whim, right?
Yeah, because for me, I'm a very like tech savvy person, so like even when I was thinking about something to invest in,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the Facebooks and the Apples, Microsofts, which I think those are going to blow up eventually as well too. But
Yeah.
something about Tesla and the way that they're for their cars, the way that they implemented the self-driving and the things that Elon Musk continues to bring
Yeah.
to the company, it's just something in my intuition said this is something that you need to invest in, and I'm like,
Wow.
I might as well do it with that one. So it ended up working out.
How many shares do you have right now of Tesla, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I don't mind. So right now I have four of Tesla.
That's
So
awesome.
the thing is for for Tesla at the time, so I think about it, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So if I would have had the
Oh my God.
mindset that I had now that I took over quarantine to learn as much as I did, if I would have had that same mindset, a few years ago when I started to get like my commissions and different things from my previous job, I'll be honest with you, I would have been at six figures in college.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because your boy was out here balling.
Yeah, I'm
He was
saying
always
like,
trying to be number one on the sprint stuff. He was trying to sell to everybody and their mama.
and I was like, and as a college student, I appreciate that. And as a college student, like I was making, more than the average student. But at the same time, while I was saving, there's so much more I could have done with that. And there's a lot of people as
Yeah.
well, even in college, and they have their businesses that it's like you could be making even more than you're making.
Yes, that's what I think is so important too. And I was really wanting to start something. I'm thinking about doing like a nonprofit or something like that. But I
Hmm.
was really thinking like even in college, like you don't even know anything about financial literacy. Like even with the money for your residuals and like your scholarships, like say like you do need your money, like yes, have fun, but like if you have a job and you have the extra money, like you can literally start stocks in college.
Right.
But like who's going to teach you or how are you even going to know it? So I think that is so important right now as like educating, like trying to educate the future and trying to like tell them things that you wish you would have known. Because maybe if I would have known about some stocks, I could have been sending that something too. I don't know if it was six figures or $6, but it would have been something.
Man, we all the thing is with even with the black community, like we all could be so much ahead. And the craziest thing that I think that's even as far as us not really knowing as much information, our elders, a lot of them have this information. It's just the risk of actually putting your money into it because of the way the society has done this for so long. So it's like
Mm.
when I'm talking to family, it's like, dang, so you know about like investing or you've kind of had even like a slight thought about it. So why didn't you do it? But it's because of that fear
It's
factor.
like a gamble, yeah. I would be
Exactly.
scared to invest too. I don't know if I knew that much about investing in stocks when I was growing up, but I would say
Hmm.
that I knew about like houses and like property. Like my parents, they have houses or whatever, like rental properties. So I would say
Hmm.
I knew about that, but I didn't know about like investing your money here, I put it in stocks here. Like I
Right.
heard about it, but I didn't really know how tangible it was. And so my question is like, so when you get that money, like, so when you invest it, whatever you said 150, you get that 1400. Do you use that to invest it right back in? Do you use it to keep it or do you just like let it keep growing?
It depends. It depends on what the person wants to do. For me, since I'm like at the starting stages and really trying to understand and grasp a whole lot more, stocks are a long term game. So for me, I want to let it grow, and the reason being is because when you take out stocks too quickly, you kind of assess it with a gamble type strategy. And it's not gambling at all because you see a lot of these companies, once they start to implement more technology or once they start to go into partnerships and sponsorships, there's a lot more that's involved. So taking it out too early is just going to decrease the amount of profit that you could have received.
Yeah. I'm glad that you brought the whole risk aspect into it because one of the tips that someone gave me a long time was if you're going to go into stocks, make sure it's money that you're willing to lose. Never go in and put in like I don't know, I just started off with my career job, but like never go in putting like your 401k in there or anything like that.
Right.
But what I would like to ask is how do you find a balance when it comes to stocks? Because it can be very addicting. And I've been in positions where I'm just like glued to my computer and just watching it go up and down. So how do you find the balance?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I first would say that before I even get into like the further detail on that, stocks is definitely something that people should look at as equity. So when people think about, hey, I'm losing money in stocks, or hey, my stocks are going down. I paid, 100 for this share, but now it's at $50. It's not that you're truly losing your cash, even though your cash is going down. You still have equity in this company and in this business, and especially within our communities, we don't own anything. So the fact that you even own a share shows that you're owning something. And so whenever I look at, then moving into your question about as far as looking at it day to day, and so about like the addiction part, it definitely can get addicting for sure because
Mm-hmm.
you're seeing your money go up and down. It's like if you're at somebody's at a casino, put the
Mm-hmm.
coins in, they get all this money, and then it's like, man, I got to keep going. But the thing for me, I try to keep a balance away because I know that within these fields or industries that the companies are in, it can go up and down at any time. And so for me, it's just mentally saying that no matter what, I can't be in control if it goes up or down. So that's what keeps me away from like looking at it constantly all the time and just
Mm-hmm.
hoping that it may jump because I know that it's a long-term thing.
Yeah.
And so a lot of videos that I've watched, a lot of information that I've gathered, a lot of like high-level investors tell you to your goal should be to have these stocks for up to 10 years or
Yeah.
more because it's long term. So for me, it's like I continue to do my due diligence, get into the news, see how the companies are moving. If it's a company that's going like terribly bad,
Mm-hmm.
then I may look at it a little bit more and say I need to resurface my money. But it's really trusting your gut intuition and then also looking at the news and looking at their balance sheet and really seeing what's going on within the corporation.
So when you say like it's a long term
Hmm.
goal, like it's a long, like do you? I don't know. This might sound kind of bad, but like,
Hmm.
do you think everybody should get a stock? Then do you think everybody should invest in stocks? Because it's like you're putting your money in there now, and like you don't know what's gonna happen, i.e., like COVID or something like that, or a recession. It's like you're putting your money in there, and you're having it in there, but you don't even really know what your return on investment is. So, is stocks really something that somebody should start off with doing? Or should that be something that, like, oh, if they have extra money and they already have other income, they can just do that as a side thing?
No, that's a good question. I honestly think that no, you don't even have to have this crazy amount of money, or you don't have to have like a side gig or anything to do it. So I look at it like this. So this is a question I would have for you both. So right now, as far as when you think about your bank account, not trying to get into not getting into your personal money, but what is the money
Sir?
that you what is the money that you have into your bank account doing? What does it do? Is it sitting there, right?
Yes, it is.
Mm,
Right. So there's no like
it's
there's
getting
nothing that it's
used.
doing. Exactly. So there's nothing that it's doing besides sitting there. And the
Yeah.
thing is, if you see something on Amazon, if you see something as far as one of your favorite places you like to shop, it may not even be a thing to what you need, but you may feel the impulse to buy because you may have that little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
But what stocks can be also used as like a savings account because if you put this money over here, it has the potential to grow while you're saving it though. So again, to the point earlier is that you should only put in as much as you're willing to lose. So if
Yeah.
you're willing to already spend this or lose this by spending it with a corporation or going out to the mall, why not put it into a savings account in a sense or a brokerage account where it can actually go up?
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I might have to disagree with that one.
Hey, that's go ahead.
I'm just thinking because you're like, well, put it in a brokerage account, and you're not using it to go up. But what if I need that in my bank account? I can use it. I can take it out, and I can go buy something. If
You,
it's in my stock and it's my money, and it's just going to a company, not saying that I won't get a return on investment, but I
mhm.
can't just go take it out and just go buy something.
So
But I'm just
actually,
playing devil's advocate.
no, so it's a two-way street. So that I would say, and that's something as well too that I've had to structure for myself. I've had to really focus on like a set budget as well. So for myself, like if I just say, hey, I can go get this little money, what if I need to go and go shop with it? It's like I want to make sure that I have some other shopping money so then I
Mm-hmm.
could use this specifically for that. Now,
Hmm.
when you think about it as well, that money that you invest in, that's your money. So at the same time, there is going to be taxes and things at the end of the year, and then you're going to get taxed a certain way, but that's not saying you can go sell that stock at any time. So if you put in 500 and then, it went down a couple of dollars and you want to take it out, you can do that. Like, it's not where somebody's holding your money hostage to where you can't go in and actually do something with it.
Yeah, that's so true. And I see that a lot of time when I'm in Robinhood because I'm always freaking out about like, I need to take my money out and I need it now. So my question is, when it comes to, give me a second, I forgot my question. Goodness gracious. Okay, it came. Okay, I got it. Okay, so COVID happened, right? And so a lot of these companies and a lot of the stocks prices went all the way down. And so my question is, what did you take an opportunity to buy some of these stocks on the dip? And if so, can you give us one that you bought and that you're really happy about buying?
Yeah, so I went on the dip. This is the best time ever to buy.
Yeah.
So it's like the crash in 2008. Like, it's the best time because everybody else is taking their money out because they're scared. So when everybody else is scared and they take their money out, the stocks are going to keep going down and down and down. But it's also looking at the way that the market works. So we see, even in a time like COVID, which has never happened before, the government is always going to throw money back into the economy. So the economy is never going to lose. So even at a time like this, when it's down and companies are still going up, imagine when it's back to normal, how much companies are going to go up. So this is like, all in all, the best time because it's just a continued growth, right? So when I think about like a stock in particular outside of Tesla that I would that I had put money into, let me see. I got my stuff up while talking. I would say one that I was pretty impressed by was DraftKings.
What is that?
I heard about that.
DraftKings is the app to where you can it's pretty much like an online betting system. So betting for games, sporting events, all those different types of events, you can actually use this app to bet for those specific events. And so I feel like that this is going to be a huge one because whenever sporting events and everything do come back, people are going to be betting like crazy, especially if there's events going on where, people, they don't have an audience. And then even when they have an audience, we know like horse races, we know that like places like Churchill Downs, it gets crazy as far as online betting because everybody can't get to the event. So initially, when I had bought the shares, it was at like 1974. And it was a little bit lower than that before I got into it, and now they're at $32 a share.
It was at what when you got into it first?
It was 1974.
How many shares?
And now it's at 34.
And then now it's at $34.
Wow, that's
correct.
So crazy.
And for that, for amount of shares that I have,
listen,
I was trying to make sure that it was clear that everybody heard that. Okay.
And then put two and two together, right? Because like if you have bought a lot of shares at 19 and now it's at 32, that's a big increase of how much you're getting back in return. So I'm always interested in hearing about that.
No, absolutely. No, for sure. Like I had bought, it was 25. So it looks like I have about 28 shares in that. So that's kind of the increase there. And the thing is, it's not like as well that I'm a person that has all this type of money or that I even really had a big chunk of money. It's like taking some of those checks that I've gotten from my 9-to-5 jobs and then being able to save this for a better time, because sometimes you can also have cash that's on hand as well. And it's like the cash is just sitting in your drawer in a safe. So for me, I look at it as why not put it in something that potentially has the room to grow at a higher rate annually.
I see what you're saying. And so with that, is that the only, I guess, thing you use when it comes to investing? You invest in stocks, or do you do anything else besides stocks when it comes to investing?
So I personally am trying to learn about like options, learn about like some mutual funds.
Yeah.
Is that what you're meaning? Like some of the other areas? Yeah, so I'm still learning about some of those areas. I'm not as comfortable with getting into options yet because with options, you're actually
Hmm.
purchasing a big amount. So, say for instance, if a share is $5, well, with the option, you're purchasing 100 shares of that particular share price. So that means that you would be buying $500 worth of shares because you would technically own 100 shares. So it's a lot more complex, and that's what I'm trying to learn as well. But with that, it
Hmm.
comes with a higher risk because there is a lot of potential as well for loss because you have a lot of shares that's in your hand. Like I don't know if you all have seen a couple of weeks ago, like the kid that committed suicide from using
Yes,
Robinhood.
yes, because he was using margins.
Exactly, because he was using those margins, and the only way he was able to get that amount of
Mhm.
money that he was using was because of options. And those options, there were so many shares involved, but the stocks that he had put money into, they decreased so much, and then he's
Yeah.
responsible for that amount. So there's a couple different ways, and it's like buying options and writing options. So that's what I'm getting into learning as well. But again, that's something that's very, very risky because you're putting a lot
Mhm.
of money on the line in hopes that a company share will go up by a certain time. Because with options, there's expiration dates that a share has to reach for you to
Mhm.
even break even. And if it happens to go up more than that at that by the expiration date, then that's all going to be profit. But then if you don't reach that break even point, you're responsible for the money that's
Yeah.
been lost.
Well, when it comes
So
to like reading up about options or just stocks in general, what do you look like? Where do you look? Do you look on Facebook? Are you in different Facebook groups? Are you on like going on YouTube videos, reading books? Like, what do you do to look up on stuff?
yeah, that's a great question. So I'm everywhere with it. I've learned from myself that really, even during college in these last few years, that a lot of stuff we don't even learn anything in college really. Like unless you have like a certain degree that's like a certification type of degree, like trying to get into nursing or trying to be a doctor. I think a lot of things, especially in this area, we have to learn on our own. And so for me, like going on YouTube, like there's a podcast. They'll actually have an episode on at 8 o'clock. It's called Earn Your Leisure. And every Monday they have an episode called Marketing Mondays. And there's a guy on there. There's actually two guys. One guy is a financial advisor, and the other guy is he's an
Mm.
educational teacher. So then they have this guy that's really, really like super brilliant with investing, and he's actually a partner with them on this specific episode. And so he has his own academy in which he helps people to learn about investing. But when they come together, it's talking about stocks that are going up and down in the market every Monday, answering questions from people on YouTube and through their Zoom channel. So I go through different areas like this to get that game because if I'm listening to an expert investor talking about these different things or these different companies, I'm able to take in that knowledge and I'm able to see where I should be aware as a
Is
beginner
Mhm.
this
investor.
live, you said, or is this pre-recorded
No, it's live
on
and then
Instagram,
like they save the record. No,
YouTube?
on
Okay, it's
YouTube.
live on YouTube, and then it's a podcast episode, so you can listen to it later.
Yeah, so they always save their
And
videos
what's
for
it
later.
called again?
Earn
Earn
your
Your Leisure.
leisure.
Okay.
Hmm.
And
And
oh, what were you gonna
so
say?
I was about to tell you the other platforms as
Okay,
well.
yes, go ahead. Let us know.
There's there's some black stock investment groups that I'm in on Facebook that are like open for anyone to join, and so I like seeing like some of the conversations that
Mhm.
people have in there. Excuse me. Another one that I look at daily is Yahoo Finance. So
Yahoo.
Yahoo Finance.
I was like
Hmm?
Yahoo. I was listening to you. I'm like, I haven't heard of Yahoo in
Oh,
a long time. I have not for real.
yeah, Yahoo is like dope. So they have like one of the top apps as far as for stock financials.
Hmm.
So you're able to see like the up and down of the markets. You're able to see um, even some of their balance sheets. You're able to see the debt that's in the company because that's public information. You're able to see the revenue. You're able to see the profit. You can also go back um, to pretty much when they started off as a corporation and see how much that their stock shares were at any given year. So you're able to track and see how they went up and down as a company. Um, and I would say another big one, and this goes with the brokerage that you choose. So, like I said, I use Fidelity now, and I'd say that the other top brokerage to use is TD Ameritrade. And so the great thing about these two specific investment companies is that with Fidelity, a lot of people are familiar with it, and TD because Fidelity holds a lot of people's 401k plans. And so the good thing about Fidelity, they have a specific learning center where you can actually go in and learn different information about stocks, finances, savings account, the whole 9 yards when it comes to anything financial, and it's free. And the thing with them as well, they actually have a free line of service where you can call in to a representative, and then they can actually walk you through about how to set up your brokerage account, how to look at a certain share, buying your first share. So I like these type of apps or these type of companies because they actually are able to walk you through. You don't have to worry about, as opposed to a Robinhood, if you have a question, there's nobody to get in contact with. So Fidelity has someone that you can actually call into, you can chat with, and you say, hey, I'm confused. I don't even know how to look at stocks. I'm confused as to what this even means. You have somebody, a direct line you can talk to.
I never knew that because I'm kind of over with Robinhood now, and I'm just like, I'm ready to go look at different brokers, like expand my horizon. But I'll definitely look into Fidelity. And I've also been looking at TD Ameritrade. But I wanted to ask, like, I guess this is kind of me too, but like, once you're done using Robinhood, if you were to recommend the next one for the next broker to use, which one would it be, and which one is your favorite?
Okay. Fidelity. So I haven't personally used TD Ameritrade. I know a lot of people speak good about it. I think that may be one that like a lot of stock brokers may be involved with as well. That and Fidelity, but I think Fidelity is great again because you're able just to even add your other bank accounts in there. So if you have a bank account, if you're doing cryptocurrency, you're able to add all that in, and then it listed on the side, so you can actually see all of your value together. Another good thing about Fidelity as well is that you can actually have a cash management account, and so the cash management account is similar to having a regular checking account with the bank. And so the good thing about that is that you can actually invest with that same account as well. So you can treat it as a debit card account, which will send you a debit card, and you can use it to invest stocks if you want to do that. So that's a good thing about like having that account. And if you just want to have an account specifically just for investments, you can just get a brokerage account. But the way that they make it is that they actually they create it so there's similarities with each type of account. Now, I get excited when I'm having these conversations, but I would say that Robinhood is dope to look at though. Like if you want to see information even in the after hours, if a company's going up or going down, Robinhood is smooth as far as their aesthetics. Because right now when I'm looking at Robinhood, I'm on my phone and I'm looking at, I'm looking at Facebook. Okay. So on Fidelity site earlier today, it was $240.28 for a Facebook share. Okay. So when their site closes for the day, when the market closes at 4, that's it. There's no updates as far as that. But when you look on Robinhood, it's at $240.01. So yeah, that's not a huge difference, but you're able to see that small difference that a company may have made, in the after hours.
And then, so I know you mentioned that you are definitely interested in some long-term investments and just long-term stocks. Now, have you done any of those like short-term stocks where you just buy it and literally it spikes up in a week and then you just sell it?
For me, no. I know that there's people that's out there that are day traders are that are really high
Mm-hmm.
level with that. I personally don't think that that's a good tactic because you also have to look at that if you're doing that just because it
Mm-hmm.
goes up, um, you're going to be taxed like crazy
Yeah.
at the end of the year if you just
Yep.
keep doing that. So they're going to look at it as added income. So your 1099 form is going to be out the roof because you're just using that money as soon as it's going
Yep.
up. So um, for me, I look at it long term because when I think about like my job roles or just anything that I have moving forward, a big thing for me is just making sure that I'm getting to a position later down in my life to where I can retire early, to where I can have like some income that I can go to as far as retirement. So for me, it's a long term game all the way. Now, if a company is, like I said, going to complete water and I have to take it out, cool. But other than that, it's a long term game for me.
Okay, yes, retiring early. That's what I'm talking about. With that in
Absolutely.
like, well, I guess it's like it's called like the fire community. I don't know if you're really familiar with that, like freedom, or something like freedom retiring early or something like that. I wanted to just ask you a couple questions that we ask all of our guests. The first
Okay.
question is, what does financial freedom mean to you?
I like that
Oh,
question.
thanks, I love it.
So, financial freedom for me means being able to have assets and being able to be in control of my money at any point in time. So, when I say me being in control, that's where I have money set aside here, and I don't have to wait for someone to say, "Hey, your check's coming in 2 weeks," or this isn't coming in at this certain time. It's like I actually know when this is coming in, and I'm able to monitor that and make the decisions that I want to make. I don't want to have to be responsible for someone else to be able to give me my money. And so when I think about also with financial freedom, it's being able to do whatever I want with it. Like being able to go out here and buy this and that, and having to maybe leverage credit and maybe not having to leverage credit, but me being fully in control.
Okay, that's good. I like that one. And then I don't know like if you're paying off debt right now, student loan debt or any debt, credit card debt or whatever, but like what's one money goal that you have? So say it's like you want to save so much by the end of the year, or you want to create an account, or like long term goal, like what's one that you have?
So yeah, that's a great question as well. And this was my thought process, and then it's this is why I stayed into investing and doing stocks. And then also, if someone is doing real estate as well, just the whole idea of investing, this is why for me. So last year, around towards the end of the year, I had to figure out a way to get some money. So pretty much I had to take out a loan at the time to be able to um, help myself out for what I was needing to pay off, right? So my initial goal was in my head to say, I want to see if there's a way in which I can surpass or pass up this amount that this loan is valued at. So the price of it that I'm taking out for this loan, I want to see if I can figure out a way to invest so that my profits or my revenue passes that up. And so that was a goal of mine, and I can say that for that particular loan in which I took out, it's done that. And so that showed me that, man, that's the power of investing because I started off with like a super low amount, and then now I'm at a point to where I'm even in the beginner middle stages, and I'm really starting to put some money towards it, and that's already passed up my expectations. So that just shows me the truth of it, and it shows me that I'm doing the right thing.
Wow, congrats. That's like so amazing to hear. When it comes to
Thank you.
like stocks, is there any like favorite Instagrams that you follow that you would like to share with other people or our listeners?
Yeah. So one guy that I think is dope. His name is Wall Street Trapper, and so he's always giving game on his lives as well. He actually has a bunch of courses that you can purchase. Um, I purchased the course, but I didn't use the course. And I'll be honest, I didn't use it because a lot of the information that I got from his course, I was able to find on that free app that I told you called
Mm-hmm.
MyLearn in the
Mm-hmm.
App Store. Um, but he does give a lot of game on his lives and on his daily post. He has a anonymous Facebook group in which it was like I forgot how much it may have been like
Ooh,
20 a
if it
month
ain't
or
free, it
something
ain't for
like
me.
that. But I did it for a little bit, but it was dope because a lot of people in there are beginners, people that have some information, but he's in there all the time, like telling people companies to go after, giving people game on any questions that they have. So to me, it was worth
Mm.
the investment. Um, Another guy is Ian, the investor. And so that guy, he's actually the guy that I was saying is on um, the third party in that Earn Your Leisure podcast. And so he has his own company as well. It's called Red Panda, and he actually charges 5K, but which is a lot of money. But for him though, he actually tells you what to invest in and what not to invest in. So that's literally like you having a financial advisor and them telling you this is where you should put your money. So for that chunk of money, I mean, I'm not trying to spend it on a course, but some people might find it worthy that your money's going to automatically grow because you have an expert that's telling you what to do with it, and he's a genius with it. Um, so that one, and I would say Earn Your Leisure.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for dropping some. Oh,
Oh,
got another one?
I got two more real quick.
I
My
love
bad.
it.
Fine. Let us
My
know.
bad.
This is a professional podcast, sir.
This is outside. This is outside of well, kind of investing, but I would tell people, especially within the black community, to look at the Tulsa Real
Mm.
Estate Fund. So this is the first black crowd fund ever created in the history, and the purpose of this is to help to buy back our blocks and um, buy back the land and stuff that we deserve to have still. And so it's ran by a guy named Jay Morrison, and he has a great page as well. But Jay Morrison is actually one of the top guys in the world as far as real estate. And he started out in he was in prison, and then he had like a lot of things that were going on in his younger years. But he transformed that and got into real estate, got into investing in different things, and he was able to really turn his perspective around. And so I would say that that's another account to look at. And his wife Ernestine Morrison, she's really big too in financial literacy and just really uplifting the black community. So those are some accounts to follow.
Oh, okay. Yes. Thank you so much. These are all on Instagram, so y'all should go check them out.
Mm.
And also, I want to just say thank you for sharing your knowledge and dropping your gems about investing and the beginner level, the mid level, whatever. As long as it's helping somebody, because some people don't know even what it's about. So I definitely thank you for taking the time out of your evening and coming and chatting with us about how to start investing our money and making sure it grows, and that we can put it back into our community. So.
Absolutely, it's about helping us grow. And I'll just leave off this. It's just one thing that's always irked me is when we ask these different questions as being younger millennials, Generation Z, we always ask the question, how do I get started? And that's the big thing because we don't even get a start. A lot of people are making big time money, but the big thing is just how do we even get started because we've been behind for so many
Mm-hmm.
years.
Yeah, so that is definitely true. And I was gonna let you leave off with any lasting ones, but you just told us. But where could the people follow you at if they want to know more about what you do or just more about um like stocks in general? Like I don't know if you post that information or but just where can they connect with you at on social media?
Yeah, they can connect with me on Instagram at that man Marco. I don't really post much about like I'll post here and there about like stocks and stuff on my story, but I don't really post a whole lot about that. Um, but I do post quite a bit of like my cooking. So I have a cooking page called Marcos Mashups that people can follow as well. And I'm always putting like motivational quotes and different things on there. So you can kind of get like a flux of different things from me. So definitely come with a like an open mind and surprise because there's always some good content just to help people to feel comfortable with them being themselves and just being able to reach a higher level of themselves.
Yes, thank you for that. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely y'all go check him out. Well, if you're not in Kentucky area, you can't get his food. But if you're in the Kentucky area, post COVID, he does cook. Okay, y'all.
Right.
Just to let y'all know. And he
Hey,
sells plates.
I'll cater some
Yes,
events.
and he wants to cater them, even though everything's virtual now, so we gotta wait for a couple more months. But yes, thank you so much. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. We enjoyed you, and just stay connected. Oh y'all, he gonna be on here again soon. He did another podcast episode, so stay tuned for that one as well. Thank you so much.
And it has been brought to my attention that the episode is over. I know. But if you want to keep on following up with us and staying tuned for the next episode, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Millennial Thoughts Pod. And I want to leave you with this. Passion or purpose, profit or pain, I don't want my name to ever be in vain. A life full of purpose is the only thing that will remain the same. Millennial Thoughts.